Hi, everyone. Welcome to Breakup Bites. I'm Jennifer Donison, and this is Jennifer Barkin, and we're
Uh,
excited to bring to you today the topic of moving forward with a new family dynamic.
it's a great subject and a complicated subject. So, we're really talking about today. Life's moving on. And now, whether you're just moving in together, whether you're repartnering and getting married, and you have kids, what this looks like
Right.
and how to make this as seamless and trouble free as possible.
I hear so often from clients, I've found this amazing person and I'm ready to start to cohabitate with them. How can I do it in a successful way?
Mhm.
And there's so many different things to consider before you even actually move in to have these discussions with your partner and what it is that you'd like to establish in order to make this a more successful transition.
So, one of the big topics clearly would be children, especially if you both have children, or even if only one of you has children. Are you both on the same page with discipline? Will the step parent be allowed to discipline your children and vice versa?
Mhm.
What about household chores? Are the kids expected to unload a dishwasher or make a bed? Because you're going to see some big problems if her kids don't have to do any of these things and his kids have to do all of these things. Those kids are going to butt heads, right?
Mhm.
So, getting everybody on the same page when it comes to the household responsibilities.
Mhm.
What about money? Paying for what? Are we going to have one grocery bill, or are you paying for this and I'm paying for that? A lot of fights are about money, and a lot of relationships break up about money.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And another really powerful thing to consider is how you're both going to appear in front of the children. You have to be a team, you have to do things together. And if you disagree on something, it may be in everyone's best interest if the new parents come together and have a little bit of a discussion about it privately. And if there's going to be things that are going to come up that people aren't going to really know what to do in that moment, but going away and having that discussion with the step parent and the biological parent is going to be a
Mhm.
really important thing to come out together as a team so that everybody, all the children, know that this is the new team that are going to be on the same page and supporting each other so that they don't start playing against each other. It's a really important thing, especially, and we've mentioned before with ages and stages. Depending on where your children are at, it could be more or less difficult. Teenagers will be a lot different than infants. And
Mhm.
as long as there's really open and thorough discussions before the cohabitation begins, it's going to be very helpful in the success of it.
I think you touched on a really good point. That being the new partner and yourself um, sitting down and having these conversations of what your expectations are and what is going to be allowed or how things are going to be handled. Um, Especially with teenagers, it's not unusual for the teenager to be going, "You're not my mother, you're not my father, I don't have to listen to you, F off," right? Um, how are you going to deal with that?
Mhm.
Because these things happen.
And how are you going to make it quote unquote fair for everyone where you have, let's say, a bigger room that you want to give to your daughter and, the other parent would like that for their child? How are you going to deal with that while it unfolds? It's so much more productive and healthy to have these discussions previous so that when you are facing them, you're able to be on the same page and it's not going to cause a rift in the relationship.
One of the things that I think is so important here is when there are exes, other parents, the biological parents or the adoptive parents of these children, um, understand that they may feel threatened as well. And to ensure that the new person or the new partner is not replacing them. I don't know if you've seen it. I've seen it a bunch of times where people are just so angry with their ex. for whatever they're in litigation or whatever they're going through. And they're going, okay, let's just sort of wipe out the accent for here's your new mommy, here's your new daddy, call me mommy.
Yeah.
And that is not okay. You're starting off on a really bad foot by doing that. Um, because no matter what happened, the children have a mother and they have a father. And if anything, your new partner you chose. Your children didn't choose them. And it can be a wonderful relationship for your children, but more that of a favorite aunt, a favorite uncle, but you don't erase their parent.
Mhm. Absolutely. And I think one other really important um, kind of on the side note of that topic is when you are ready to cohabitate, I think it's really critical that you still spend one-on-one alone time with your children because you want them to know that you're not just erasing that time that you've had together previous to this new partner, and you're still giving them that extra time and attention. And on that note, maybe if the other partner has children as well, to consider having some one on one time with them to grow that bond. I've heard many clients say, I just can't get a connection to the other child. And they just kind of go about their day and then they start to favor their children more. And then that divide starts to continue to grow. And I think one thing that's really helpful from the get go is to start having that special time with everyone's children so that that one on one development can start to increase that connection.
And that's an excellent point that you brought up. I even say in families that are intact, where there hasn't been a separation and divorce, it's so important to have that one on one bonding time with each of your children. Children all need that one on one time. But especially when you're blending families, to show, hey, you're still important. I have time for you. Nothing's changed. That new person is not a threat, or that new person's children are not a threat.
And it's also a wonderful opportunity for the child to open up and talk about how they're feeling about this new dynamic and to feel that they can still bring things to you without everyone else around all the time, and having that special time to just confide and discuss things that are on their mind, I think is critical.
Definitely.
Yeah, well, I think you brought up some great points, and if anyone has any questions, please let us know. But we wish everyone the best if they're trying to cohabitate and start a new adventure because it is a very exciting time.